Hi there, it's Wise here, once again bringing you some wise words. Let me start by saying I love all of you guys and thank you once again for coming by the channel and checking me out. I really hope that this information is helping you guys out in whatever way possible and that you can share it with your friends and family, or at the very least, employ it in your regular life. So, what are we here for today? Well, I have a very important subject, at least it's important to me, and I hope that I can show you why it's important and how you can implement it into your life. So what are we talking about today, guys? Well, like I said, I believe it's very important, not only to me, but I believe for a lot of people, especially if you're stressed out, having a hard time letting go of certain situations or conversations that you had, anything that it might be, getting things put out of your mind. What could it be? What could it be? Tell us, tell us, tell us. Relaxation. Now I know what you guys are saying. Well, I know how to relax. I know how to achieve relaxation. A lot of people don't know how to achieve relaxation. They believe they do, but they don't know how to cultivate the right type of environment or the right type of mental landscape. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that today and hopefully get some clarification on relaxation. So what I would like to tell you is a couple of things that help me with relaxation. And for me, there's two big things. There's a lot of things that help me relax, but there's two big things. One of which is breath work. I believe breath work is extremely important. If you don't pay attention to your breath, which a lot of people believe is an involuntary action, then it's very hard to achieve any lasting, sustaining type of relaxation. Another thing that I believe is imperative to cultivating relaxation is to have a relaxing environment, whether it's at home or at work. So, I'm going to try to jump into those two things for you, or not try, I am going to jump into those things for you, and give you some of the information that has really helped me along my path as far as it goes with becoming a more relaxed individual. If a lot of you guys don't know, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I now live in Colorado. Beautiful place. Just the atmosphere itself, living here, helped me become a more relaxed person. I know like what a lot of you guys are thinking, probably attributed to what's legal here, but that's besides the point. I really believe that if you don't cultivate powers of breathing and powers of or not powers, or cultivate an environment which you feel comfortable in, then you're really never going to be able to achieve, like I said, any long-lasting, sustainable relaxation. So first, what I would like to do is share with you guys a couple excerpts out of a book that really helped me early along in my path to becoming a more just spiritual person, jumping into meditation and yoga and things like that. It's a book called, don't worry about where I pulled that from once again, Awakening Healing Energy Through Tao, or Tao. What Tao is, or Taoism is, it's a very ancient philosophy and ancient cultivation of inner energy practice in China and other parts of Asia. So I want to bring you guys a little bit out of this book, and don't worry, I'm going to bring you a lot more about Taoism. It's a very interesting subject. Even if you don't become a Taoist yourself, I believe it's very, let's just say, important to have a grasp of breath work, and Taoism has a lot of different breathing techniques that could help you along your journey, along with some inner cultivations of mental landscape that'll help you with your breathing techniques and other cultivations of relaxation. So let me bring you a couple of these excerpts out of here. It's from a man named Master Mantak Chia. Beautiful work. If you enjoy what I read you guys out of this, for one, I suggest picking up this book. But not only that, there's many, I believe he has dozens of books that he's put out on Taoism and different Taoist techniques that can help you with many things, from sexual energy cultivation to meditation techniques to inner energy cultivation. It's very interesting stuff. I would suggest you guys take a look at it. But let me go ahead and read to you a couple excerpts out of it real quick, just so you can get an idea of what we're going to be talking about. So this comes out of chapter 2, Prepare to Circulate the Chi Energy. And we're not going to talk too much about circulating chi energy, but that's what most of the books are about. This is number one in how to or prepare to circulate the chi energy. Number one, create a relaxed environment. The key to chi circulation is deep relaxation. In order to cultivate the warm current, you must calm yourself within. If you are distracted by the television, passing cars, or an unmade bed, your mind will turn outwards and you will be unable to focus energy. As you progress, you will learn to ignore distractions and will be able to meditate anywhere. But in the beginning, choose a quiet spot and a special time. The more comfortable the atmosphere, the easily you can concentrate, or the more easily you can concentrate. So that's just a little excerpt about uh, creating a good atmosphere for circulating chi energy. But there's also one more thing I want to read to you out of the same chapter. This is number 7 along the lines of prepare to circulate the chi energy. So number 7, how to breathe, one of my favorites. While concentrating, the breath should be soft, long, and smooth. After a while, you can forget about breathing altogether. Attention to breath will distract your mind, which must focus on drawing energy to the desired points. There are thousands of esoteric breathing techniques, and you might spend your whole life mastering them and acquire no long-lasting energy. So what that basically is talking about there is, as far as it goes with the atmosphere, cultivating a peaceful or just warming atmosphere that you can feel undistracted in. And then secondly, what I read there was talking about breathing techniques, how there's dozens, if not thousands, of breathing techniques out there. And it said that you may not gain any long-lasting energy or desired effects from that breathing technique just by going out and learning them. And I'll iterate on that just a little bit real quick. What it meant there was, or the book, what Master Mantak Chia meant there, was that without the intention behind the breathing technique, then you'll never ever get anywhere with the breathing technique. You'll just be breathing for the sake of breathing. Kind of like if you're lifting weights with no intention on making your chest bigger, your arms bigger, or your legs stronger, or increasing your endurance or your strength. If you have no dedicated plan to what you want to achieve from the lifting, then you're never going to get anywhere. Same concept applies to breath work and breathing, and we'll get to that in a moment. So first, let me talk to you guys about creating a relaxed environment. So whether, like I said, it's at home or at work, you should try not to be a product of your environment, but to make your environment a product of you. Now, I know that sounds a little inverse to what you normally hear, but hear me out for just a moment. So whether it's at home or at work, let's take home for instance, because that's usually the easier place to cultivate a good, positive atmosphere. At home, try to be more organized. If the kitchen is cluttered, try to clean up the kitchen. Try to get the dishes into the dishwasher. If you don't have the dishes or a dishwasher, try to do the dishes regularly. Make sure the living room is picked up, your room is picked up. Now, for most adults, this isn't a very hard task to accomplish, but for some people, it's very, very difficult to get organized. I've been over to friends' houses before, and in comparison, they always come over and they say, "Oh, your house is beautiful, it's immaculate." Then I get over to their house and I see what the comparison point is. So with that being said, try to cultivate an atmosphere of cleanliness. That's step 1. Step 2 is creating an atmosphere of good lighting and good smells. I've mentioned before essential oils. There's tons of essential oils out there that can bring you to many states of relaxation. I like sage myself. Cinnamon's another one that I believe smells tremendous. Lavender, but there's tons of them out there. Just do a little reference search in Google or Bing or whatever it is you use, and it will turn up dozens, if not hundreds, of essential oils that you can use. And that's just one other way. So along with it being organized, bring good smells. You can also try different lightings in your house. So you may not have a dimmer in your house, but you can try maybe taking one light bulb out, see if that relaxes you a little bit more. Having less light in one room. Trying to sleep in complete darkness is another great way to cultivate a good atmosphere and to build relaxation in your life. Sometimes people sleep with the computer on or with their phone on or other things like that. Ambience during sleep can really disrupt you and also make you a more stressed person, decreasing your relaxation. So those are just a couple of ways. You can also bring trinkets and beautiful things into your home. I like artwork myself, statuettes, things from ancient Egypt or that remind me of ancient Egypt or Greece, Rome, and things like that. Uh, they really, really do add to the atmosphere. Trust me, try it out, and I'm sure within no time you'll feel the ramifications or the benefits of just having a couple little trinkets around the house that when you look at them, they take you to a place of calmness within yourself. So that's just one thing. You can also look at if you live with a loved one, relatives, roommates, anything like that. If you live with those type of people, then you also want to try to get them to cultivate an atmosphere of peacefulness and relaxation as well. Talk to them about it. See if they have any ideas as far as maybe lighting candles or incense and things like that. But the more people you have are going towards a concerted effort to have a relaxed environment, the quicker you'll get there. Next, let's talk about work. Now, work is a little bit more difficult because you don't really get to choose the people that you work with. But what you can do is choose how your inner condition is. One thing that you should never do, and it may sound easier said than done, but trust me, if you do some of the practices that I give you on here, you'll be way on your step or way on your way to cultivating a better inner environment. So, let's say you work with someone you don't really get along with, or Janine comes in on Saturday and her and her boyfriend broke up and she's really, really down. Instead of letting that energy overtake you, which in a lot of cases it does, I've read many research studies and books about how negative energy quickly overcomes positive energy if given enough time. So what I always tell people is to cultivate more positive energy. Cultivate as much positive energy as you possibly can so that when negative energy does come your way, it has little to no effect on you. So one way to do that is always talk to yourself in a positive manner. I love myself. I know that people love me. People want to be around me. I'm a good person. I bring goodness and high vibration to the entire universe. And all I want to do is help people. Just tell yourself that. Those are some of the things that I tell myself. So let's say Janine does come into work and her and her boyfriend did break up and she has terrible energy. Instead of feeding into that, you probably don't want to talk to her about the relationship, but maybe talk to her about herself. Talk to her about stuff that makes Janine or you happy. And by putting off that good energy, then it starts to rub off on people. I've seen it 1,000 times, if not 1,000,000. It's very, very, very contagious. And those are just a couple of ways to cultivate a better environment at work. Just make sure that you don't take on other people's energy. It really, 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 really can dictate what type of atmosphere is at work and what type of emotions you feel inside. So what do we want to talk about next? Well, it's the breath, right? The reason I want to talk to you guys about breath is because I feel a lot of people believe it's an involuntary action. But once you start paying attention to breath and breath work, beautiful things start to happen. So like I was saying earlier, if you're trying the breath work, but you're not using any type of prescribed intent behind it, then you're probably not going to get any long-lasting sustaining effects that you're looking for. So let me just give you guys one breathing technique that I've used in my lifetime that's helped me out tremendously. So what you can do is breathe in for a count of 5 to 10, just depending on your lung capacity. Hold for 5 to 10. And then release for 5 to 10. Now that in and of itself, that practice right there is very calming. You can try that just by itself 3 to 5 times in the beginning. You may feel a little lightheaded or dizzy. I always recommend sitting down with the feet planted on the floor in a chair, on the edge of the chair if you can, with an erect back with your eyes closed. That'll really help. You can do it standing, but I recommend not to because, like I said, you can get dizzy and fall over. You can even do it in the seated lotus position. And if you don't know what that is, once again, you can Google or Bing it. Now, like I was saying earlier, without any prescribed intent behind the breathing, then you're going to get nowhere fast. So while we're breathing in for 5 to 10, what I like to tell myself is, I'm breathing in healing, powerful love energy, universal cosmic healing energy from all around me. I'm outside right now. I got the birds, I got the bees, I got the trees, I got the grass. There's things growing all around me, and I can take in that life force energy by willing it, by thinking it. As I'm holding, I'm thinking to myself, the energy that I just brought in is healing every cell in my body, healing me from the inside out, healing my muscles, my tendons, my bones, all of it. And as I'm exhaling, I'm believing that, or I'm thinking that I'm exhaling out tension, stress, negative energy, and emotions. And every time I breathe in, hold, and then breathe out, I'm thinking those things. Breathing in, healing, love, energy. Holding energy that is clearing and healing all of my bones, blood, tendons, and muscles. And then I exhale out negative emotions and negative energy. And I do that a couple times, and I feel absolutely tremendous. And that's just one breathing technique. Like I said, there's thousands of them out there, and you may come across one that you like a little bit better. But make sure that you always have some type of mental mantra that you're telling yourself to make the breathing technique that much more effective. So guys, those are just a couple things I wanted to share with you on becoming more relaxed or cultivating your own relaxation, or maybe even helping somebody else cultivate relaxation. I thank you so much once again for coming by and checking out the channel. There's going to be tons more information about this. Like I said, we're going to jump into Taoism, existentialism. We're going to be talking about tons and tons of information. If you do want to check out Master Mantak Chia, he does have his own website and his own YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Very interesting stuff. His books are well varied, like I was saying a moment ago. And if you're looking for breathing techniques, like I said, I would recommend going to maybe a Taoist center. There's also pranayama, which is yogic breathing. They call it breath of fire in some places. I would recommend trying out all of those things. But guys, once again, like I said, I hope that I can give you just a little bit of information that could help you out in your day-to-day life becoming a more relaxed person. So as always, I'd like to wish you guys infinite love, peace, and wisdom.